What's going on, everybody? This your boy, The Fat Stacks. Welcome, everybody. Hopefully, everybody's having a good Veterans Day today. Shouts out to all the veterans out there that sacrificed their lives for the freedoms of all Americans today. Today's financial corner topic is going to be: are marijuana stocks overlooked? Now, back in the early years, no one would have ever thought that there would be certain states that would legalize marijuana. And I have some notes for y'all. I wrote down a whole bunch of notes, a whole bunch of everything, because I think this topic of marijuana and investing in stocks is really hasn't been talked about much because it hasn't gained a lot of headway as it is now. Just right now, here are the states that marijuana is fully illegal: Idaho, Wyoming, Kansas, Tennessee, South Carolina, Alabama. 36 states have some form of legal cannabis. As of right now, as you guys see on this chart I have up, well, I wouldn't say chart, but this site on the Forbes site, as you can see, these are the revenue that marijuana has brought in millions in tax revenue to these states, and this was estimated 2018. So a lot of the stuff I'm going to be talking about today, I just Googled and looked up. So because I think marijuana in the long run is going to be very profitable, and I think a lot of investors should be well informed about marijuana and what states it's being legalized and what's going on, because you might not want to miss the marijuana train as it just keeps going full steam ahead, as in now and also in the future. Cannabis, as I said before, is a billion-dollar business. It's also predicted that marijuana sales will earn 23 billion US dollars by 2025. 23 billion. That's a lot of money. Tax revenue from marijuana increased to 1.19 billion from 2017 to 2020. Now, if every state would legalize marijuana, the taxes alone might be able to get some of certain states out of the red. I mean, when it comes to marijuana being legalized, and also it's also being decriminalized as well as being legalized. I mean, marijuana has medicinal uses that a lot of hospitals and doctors have been prescribing for certain ailments and for certain treatments depending on what you have. So marijuana has just been one of those, I don't know if it's really taboo compared to what it is now, but definitely profit wise, there's a lot of money to be made. If marijuana were legal in all the states, that's a lot of job creation and other things to fall under as well. Think about it like this: there's going to be a domino effect, meaning people are going to need to lease buildings to grow or lease land. Electric is going to go up because growing, selling, building, all that is going to have a form of different areas are going to go up. And when it comes to stock market wise, those areas I look in particular into. For example, I'm into heavy renewable energy. So in certain places, you can see probably certain buildings having solar energy being ran to help lessen the use of actual electric companies and stuff like that. Any type of way you can reduce your energy bill per se when it comes to growing marijuana will definitely help on your bottom line. But I'm just saying this because there are different facets of how other people will also benefit from the legalization use of marijuana in a state in more ways than one. Now, obviously, I don't see the federal government legalizing it in the US anytime soon, in my opinion. But if every state goes across and says, we're going to legalize it, decriminalize it, put it used for medical, I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter much about what the federal government says on that end per se, unless you work for the federal government. Then that's a totally different story. So, but investors really need to take a look at these marijuana stocks, and also not just that, but the land, the real estate, buildings. If you're looking to invest or trying to get on the marijuana train, now is a good time to do it before it runs off, just starts going. All right. There are also big companies that have also already invested into some of these marijuana companies. And a big one is the Altria Group, the parent company to Philip Morris, invested 2.4 billion in Cronos Cannabis in this news was around December 7th, 2018 from what I found. So obviously y'all know Altria Group, Philip Morris, the ones that make cigarettes, they're betting on marijuana as well. And you also going to have other companies investing in marijuana. I mean, you have alcohol that's legalized, which is a depressant. You have, cigarettes that can cause cancer, this and that, and everything else in between. But they're heavily taxed by, federal government and states. So why not do the same to marijuana? And, I don't know if alcohol has any kind of medicinal use other than drinking your problems away, which that don't help either. So, but in my opinion, if every state legalizes marijuana, there will be benefits to it. Now, you might have those people that say, well, it might cause more trouble if it's legalized. And so far, from what I've read and seen, the stats don't show that. So for all those who want to go and do your own research, I suggest do your own research. Don't take my word for it. I just did some research looking at some numbers of how profitable this can be. Now, I'm going to show you, there are 6 stocks right here. And I'm going to go through them little by little, and just to give you guys a gist of what I'm looking at, especially what I'm going to be invested in when it comes to marijuana in certain ways. But as you guys know, this last election, as you can read here, the ballot measures in Arizona, Montana, New Jersey, South Dakota legalizing the use of cannabis for adults 21 and over for the approval of voters. The use of medical marijuana was also passed in Mississippi and South Dakota. In the U.S., there are now 36 states and 2 territories, Puerto Rico and U.S. Virgin Islands, that allow the use of medical marijuana, while 15 states, Washington, D.C., Guam, the North Mariana Islands, can legally sell cannabis to adults. Now, why is this so important? The one that I'm really watching for is New Jersey. Why? Because if New Jersey got it legal, man, New York is not too far behind, and there is a big market in New York. Not to mention Florida has legalized it medically, and Florida also has a big market for it as well. I'm just waiting for it to go fully legal in Florida. And man, the revenue windfalls from it going legal. Whew. And now we're also talking not just smoking it. We're also talking about the edibles. Canada, there's places in Canada now that have developed drinks, cannabis drinks, so there's more than one way to intake marijuana for legal enjoyment. And this is why I said there are a lot of profits to be made, a lot of investments that can be made. So within the future, sizable profits can be made just off of investing in marijuana, in my opinion, down in the near future. Now, as we go down, I want to show you guys one particular right here. The addition of these states legalizing recreational and medical use of cannabis will add at least $9 billion in revenue from 2022 to 2025. And by 2025, revenue from cannabis sales is estimated to reach $35.1 billion. That's a lot of money. A lot of money. And I don't think a lot of people realize that you if you can get a chance to invest in cannabis, you should. I mean, numbers don't lie, and people's habits don't lie either. So, you know, like I said, it used to be taboo, I guess, way back when, if states would be able, about a decade ago, you wouldn't think that this would be possible. You know what I mean? But now, it is literally almost full steam ahead when it comes to cannabis in the future. So they talk about various stocks, but I'm going to scroll down. The one stock that I'm watching, of course, you have True Life Cannabis, True Life Corp, Curaleaf, Cresco Labs. Green Thumb is one that I've been watching for a while. This one, the Innovative Industrial Properties. Why? Because it is a REIT, and I'm going to read it to you, that focuses on regulated U.S. cannabis industry and purchasing specialized industrial real estate assets for regulated medical use cannabis industry. The company's strategy is to continue to acquire medical use cannabis facilities in the U.S. So what that means is that these boys are buying up area and buildings so that they can lease to growers and investors who are looking to get into the cannabis space. Now, if you're wondering what their stock is looking like, we're about to go to Yahoo Finance right now, and I'm going to show you what their stock is sitting at right now. Now, mind you, I have watched this company from when it was $100 a share. Like, when I first looked at it, I was kind of, I don't know, and I was just getting into investing, and I wanted to invest into certain investments first before I looked into marijuana. But man, I definitely missed the train when it came to, I should have bought this at $100 a share, at least if it was 5 shares, something. But the dividend that they're paying out, yearly dividend, I mean, look at that. Not just that, the market cap, and that's only going to go up. I mean, it's marijuana's, cannabis, marijuana, whatever you want to call it, Mary Jane, the sticky icky, is not going anywhere. It is not going anywhere. And more states are going to start to legalize and decriminalize it. And they're going to start using the tax revenue for their states, whatever they need it for. And obviously, you're going to have bigger companies looking into investing into marijuana. So just to give you guys another some more numbers, global legal cannabis growth sales to average 24% through 2024. Compound annual growth rate 28.2% over a decade, and 24.5% over a 6-year period, the end of 2018 and the end of 2024. Now, I just wanted to give you guys this information. Do what you want with it. But I am letting you know right now, if you can, try to see if you can invest into cannabis so you don't miss the train. There are ways, I mean, legally, with recreational use and medicinal use, I mean, it's not going away. It is not going away. And there are profits to be made. You just have to make sure you do your homework, do your research, because me personally, I'm going to be investing into Innovative Properties over here, this REIT. because people are going to need buildings. They're going to need area in order to grow and house these plants. So, I mean, it's the wave of the future in my opinion. So go ahead, like I said before, do your research. And I appreciate y'all coming through, checking out the video. Like I said, hit that like button, share, subscribe. Appreciate y'all taking the time to listen to your boy. Y'all have a good Veterans Day. Y'all be safe.